Good morning, everyone. Okay, before we start, I would encourage everybody to fill the seats at the front so we have everybody at the front and participating. Before we start, and before I make my introduction, I think we should invite the Holy Spirit into this proceedings, and so I will invite Mr. Kimbert Embert to lead us in prayers.
Let's bow our heads. Oh Lord Jesus, we come before you yet another time. We would like to thank you so much for the hours of the night. Thank you for allowing us to be here this day. Please, Lord Jesus, if there are any more on the way, help them that they may get here safely. Also, we thank you for the organizers of today, also the presenters, Lord Jesus. Please allow all presenters to do as per your will. Go before us today as we wait upon you and say thanks. Amen and amen.
Are we scared of the front? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would start by calling out who I can recognize in the room. I would like to recognize the presence of the Deputy Director of the Research and Policy Unit, Ms. Davina Andrew, Deputy Controller of Customs, Miss Ava Marius. Please forgive me if I do not call out the names. We would also delighted to see Miss Fidel Felix back here with us. She was in the budget department, and it's good to see our colleagues come back and support our work. I would also like to recognize the presence of Natalie D'Souza. Thank you for coming. I think it's also fitting to also recognize our past director of the Research and Policy Unit, Mr. Embert Segis. Thank you for continuing to support the Ministry of Finance, and of course our very own, the director of the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Ms. Lisa Flora Montout, for all her hard work in ensuring that this activity came into fruition. And so I'd like to thank you and welcome you to Productivity Awareness Week 2024 and the Research Symposium. We took a brief halt for a few years. However, we are indeed delightful that we have reconvened this activity. One of the functions of the NCPC is to lead the relevant research required to grow our national productivity levels and to build a competitive St. Lucia. It is for this reason we have partnered with the Research and Policy Unit, and that Ms. Davina Mathre Andrew is represented on our board. Everybody knows Davina Mathre Andrew, and we can vouch for her hard work and dedication. She was very instrumental in ensuring that the Research Symposium was reconvened this year, and for that we are very thankful. Let's give Ms. Andrew a hand, please. I would also like to thank Ms. Ghislaine Clary for her contributions on the steering committee of the Productivity Awareness Week. She was very instrumental in ensuring that we came up with an appropriate theme for this week. So thank you, Ghislaine Clary King. We know that this took a lot of hard work from Davina. There were times where she would pass and she couldn't even tell us a proper hello, but we know that she was very busy, and for that we are indeed thankful. I am hopeful that we at the NCPC can continue to provide the necessary support and resources in ensuring that the research symposium remains alive, and we are happy that our economist, the NCPC, is supporting this activity. Before I go on, I would like to ensure that, and I would like to see that the research symposium continues beyond 2024. And I would like to hand you over to Ms. Rees Andrew and wish you a successful and impactful session.
Thank you, Shama. And of course, we at the Research and Policy Unit, we will definitely try to make this not to end in this year, but we'll allow it to continue. And we have to blame it on COVID for allowing our research symposium to end over the last 3 years. But we are back and we are grand, I should say, because of the NCPC, the support of the NCPC. So let me just say good morning to our esteemed colleagues, guests, staff of the NCPC, the director of the NCPC, and of course our former director at the Research and Policy Unit, Mr. Embed Segis. Thank you for coming, everyone. It is a privilege to welcome you this year to this year's Research Symposium on Artificial Intelligence, themed Exploring New Horizons, Research Insights on Artificial Intelligence. As the Deputy Chief Economist of the Research and Policy Unit within the Department of Finance, I am indeed honored to be part of this discussion initiated by the NCPC. Thank you for joining us today for this important presentation on our research findings regarding AI and its impact on economic growth. I am excited to share key insights on how AI is transforming workplaces worldwide and its significant implications for economic growth, particularly in St. Lucia. Artificial intelligence is increasingly vital to today's economy, reshaping industries by automating processes, enhancing decision-making, and creating new products and services. The global landscape is witnessing remarkable improvements in productivity and competitiveness, underscoring AI's critical role in shaping the future of work and economic growth. Research indicates that AI adoption brings substantial benefits not only in boosting productivity, but also in driving sustainable economic development. As Andrew Ng rightly aptly puts it, artificial intelligence is the new electricity. Just as electricity transformed industries and economies a century ago, AI has the potential to drive unprecedented growth and innovation in the coming decades. Today, we will explore the specific implications for our nation and discuss strategies for effectively adopting AI technologies to foster innovation, improve efficiency, and create new opportunities for our workplace. We will also address the limitations and concerns surrounding AI. And I know we have a few dinosaurs in the room. And so I take this one. Before we proceed, I do want to clarify everyone here that while we are a team of dedicated researchers, we are not AI experts. He's right there at the back of the room. Our goal today is to present our findings based on extensive and meticulous research, facilitating a meaningful discussion on the implications of AI for our workplace and our economy. I would like to take a moment to recognize the hard work and dedication of our team of economists at the Research and Policy Unit, all of whom are presenters here today. They did not want to stay out of this hot topic. So allow me to introduce our presenters. We have Jakil Jamari. Sorry. Sorry, give us a second. So this is Jakil Jamari, our avatar for the day. In microtransit. She has since been employed by the Ministry of Finance, Research and Policy Unit as an economist. Welcome, Jakil. Jane Clary King. Mrs. Jane Clary King is an economist attached to the Department of Yes, she has also served as a research officer and functioned in various administrative roles within the government of St. Lucia. She holds a master's degree in project management with Edinburgh Nepean University and a bachelor's of science degree in management and economics. Welcome, Chief. Kimber Evans. He's currently responsible for fiscal sector. Prior to that, he was responsible for debt, monetary and health sector, as well as manufacturing and tourism, a well-rounded economist. Welcome, Kimbert. Then we have Jeremy Monrose. Yes, this is Jeremy Monrose. He's an tourism and energy sector. Welcome, Jeremy. Then we have Yasmin Alfred. Yasmin Alfred is a graduate. Past 6 years, she has worked as an economist with research. She has worked as an economist focusing on construction and employment. Welcome, Yasmin. Petriana Daniel. She holds a bachelor's degree in economics and finance from the St. George's University and a master's degree in business administration from the University of People. Previously, she was the communication liaison officer for the Mobile Valley Development Corporation, a subsidiary of the Ministry of Agriculture. Then we have Myra DeLise. Hopefully by the end of this, she will be transformed. Myra DeLise has served as an economist in the Research and Policy Unit of the Department of Finance for the last 5 years. She is currently responsible for trade and external sector and inflation, but also provides support to the energy and manufacturing. Ms. DeLise holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Management and Economics and is currently pursuing trade policy certification. Welcome, Myra. So this is our team. Now, each member of this team has made significant contributions to our research, driven by shared commitment to engage in this vital discussion about economic development. Now, I want to extend our sincere gratitude to the NCPC for the ongoing collaboration with the RPU. The support has been instrumental in providing us with a platform to showcase our work. This partnership emphasizes our shared commitment to enhancing productivity and fostering economic growth, and it's a fantastic opportunity to collaborate on shaping the future of technology together. Now, while we are discussing collaboration, I would like to also recognize the OECS for their continued support. Now, the OECS has a mandate to drive and support sustainable development through regional integration, fostering collective action, and development cooperation. Now, our partnership with the OECS led to the publication of our first ever ebook in 2020. It's basically a compilation of research papers presented at our symposium. This partnership continues in 2024 as we will host our inaugural policy symposium at the Financial Center on October 29th and 30th. So do not miss this, guys. This symposium will provide a platform for meaningful dialogue between private and public sector aimed at driving impactful policy reforms that addresses pressing socio-economic realities. Now, I don't see our director here and our chief economist is online, but I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the Director of Research and Policy and our chief economist for the unwavering support in fostering an environment that encourages rigorous research. This vital work guides our policy decisions and paves the way for sustainable growth in St. Lucia. Your leadership and vision are crucial in shaping a brighter future for our nation, and for that we truly appreciate the opportunities you provide for us to explore these critical issues. Now, to our audience, I was hoping for a room full of 60 people, 70, 100 people, because this is such an important discussion. To our audience who are here, we welcome your thoughts and questions throughout the presentation, as your engagement is essential for fostering rich discussions for policy development. Please feel free to share your insights. Now, this is really for policy development, so I encourage you all, let us discuss and remember that we are not AI experts. We're just researchers presenting our findings to you. Now, let's embark on this journey to explore our findings on AI and its impact on the workplace and economic growth, as well as how St. Lucia can effectively embrace AI. We will consider how to harness its potential for our economic future while navigating the challenges that may arise. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to our discussion. Thank you, guys.
The outline for our presentation. We have the introduction, types of AI in the workplace, for implementation, current state of AI in St. Lucia, and how to facilitate AI adoption in the workplace. I'm going to start off with the introduction. The term AI was first used in 1956 in a paper written to Dartmouth for a conference by John McCarthy, Alan Turing, Mervyn Minsky, Alan Newell, and Herbert Simmons. There are different types or people tend to define AI differently. John McCarthy, who was one of the founders of the discipline of AI, defined artificial intelligence as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. The Oxford Dictionary defines artificial intelligence as the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translations between languages. Sheikh et al., on the other hand, argue that there is no acceptable definition of the concept of AI. That is because AI mimics human intelligence, and human intelligence is still being understood. Artificial intelligence can be divided into 3 categories. The term narrow AI can be a bit misleading. That is because when you think of the word narrow, you would think of something small or singular. Narrow AI is actually the driving force behind much of what we use every single day. It is actually all of the AI that we use every single day. It is designed to perform a specific task or a narrow range of tasks, but these tasks are quite useful. It is like specialized AI doing one particular job really well. Examples of this are voice assistants, facial recognition systems, recommendation algorithms, AI that powers autonomous vehicles, weather forecast apps, and email filtering. Narrow AI doesn't possess understanding or consciousness, but rather it follows pre-programmed rules or learns patterns from data. For example, if you teach an AI to identify humans and animals on the street for a drive for an or what is an animal. There's strong AI. It's a hypothetical type of AI. It doesn't exist yet. It's like a singular AI that can do it all. It can apply human-like intelligence to any task. Developing remains a goal of AI research. And thirdly, we have super intelligent AI. That's when we get into the sci-fi movie. The core concept of artificial intelligence can be grouped into several key areas. These concepts are fundamental to understanding how AI systems work and how they can be applied. We have machine learning. It's like giving the computer a crash course on its own. There are 3 types of machine learning. You have supervised learning. This model learns from labeled data where the input and output pairs are known. It makes predictions based on this learned relationship. For example, imagine you're trying to teach an AI to recognize pictures of cats. You upload thousands of pictures of cats, and each one would be labeled cat. Over time, the AI starts to pick up on the pattern and features that makes a cat a cat. Eventually, it starts to recognize cats on its own. The other type of machine learning is unsupervised learning. This model works with unlabeled data and tries to find patterns or structures in data, like clustering. Example, if you take away the labels of cats and you give the AI thousands of pictures of cats, dogs, monkeys, etc., and you tell the AI to figure out which one of those are similar, that's unsupervised learning. It will search for hidden connections and underlying patterns without being told exactly what to look for. And lastly, you have reinforcement learning. This model learns by interacting with the environment and receive feedback, rewards or penalties to improve in its decisions over time. An example of this would be, imagine you're teaching an AI to play the game of chess. The AI makes a move, and depending on whether the move is good or bad, it gets either a reward or penalty, and over time, it learns to associate certain actions with positive outcomes. Another concept of AI would be neural networks. These are inspired by the human brain. The brain has billions of neurons, all interconnected, and the more you use those connections, the stronger they get. Neural networks work the same way. They have layers of interconnecting nodes, and as they process data over time, the connection between those nodes strengthen or weaken based on the results. Deep learning uses multi-layered neural networks for tasks like image recognition and speech recognition. You also have neural language processing, which enables machines to understand, interpret, and generate human language. It involves tasks such as speech recognition, which converts spoken language into text, sentiment analysis, which determines the emotional tone of text, machine translation, which automatically translates text from one language to another. There's computer vision. It enables machines to interpret and understand visual information from the world, like images and videos. It involves techniques like object recognition, facial recognition, and image generation. You have expert systems. These AIs mimic human expertise in a specific field. They use knowledge based on facts and rules to solve complex problems, offering decision-making support in areas like medical diagnosis or financial advice. There's robotics, focusing on creating intelligent machines that can perform tasks autonomously. AI-powered robots often combine computer vision, expert learning, and decision-making to navigate environments and perform complex physical actions. The significance of artificial intelligence systems stems from its ability to transform and revolutionize numerous industries. By mimicking human intelligence, learning from data, automating tasks that once require human input, AI has profound impact. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, views AI as a general-purpose technology that has the potential to improve the welfare and well-being of people, to contribute to the positive, sustainable global economic activity, to increase innovation productivity, and to help respond to key AI challenges. So AI is actually important in a number of different ways. We have enhanced decision-making. AI systems, particularly those based on machine learning, can analyze vast amounts of data quickly, identify patterns, and offer insights that aid in decision-making. AIs can solve complex problems, taking highly complex problems that would be impractical for humans to solve manually, and process data at scales far beyond human capacity. It increases efficiency and productivity, can perform tasks faster and more accurately than humans, often leading to higher efficiency and productivity. You have security and surveillance. AI is also critical in improving security and surveillance systems. AI-powered cameras and algorithms can detect suspicious activity or potential threats in real time, enhancing public safety and national security. Supporting sustainability and development, AI can aid in managing and optimizing sustainable practices across industries and minimize environmental impact.
At this point, we would have learned about AI and what it entails. I am sure that some of us here today have been exposed to AI in some way, knowingly and unknowingly, because AI has become a trend that cannot be disregarded. Now that we know what AI is, let us take a closer look at 5 types of AI which have the capability of increasing productivity and enhancing processes in the workplace. We have here 5 types of AI on screen. 1, the analytic AI. 2, the functional AI. The interactive AI, text AI, and visual AI. I will be going through it individually. First, we're going to look at the analytic AI. And this AI is powered by machine learning and makes use of deep learning techniques. It scans tons of data for dependencies and patterns to ultimately produce recommendations or provide businesses with insights. So this allows for better decision making. Typically, firms use AI to conduct sentiment analysis. Joaquin would have alluded to it earlier. Supplier risk assessments. So we could see the use of AIs in terms of planning and calculating the optimal safety stock and replenishing time and forecast the demand for multiple products. We all know that 100% precision is impossible, but the research has shown that AI can be quite accurate and reliable. The second type, the functional AI, is quite similar to the analytic AI because it scans huge amounts of data and searches for patterns and dependencies in it. However, it goes a step further. Functional AI acts on behalf of the employee. For instance, if there is a machine breakdown, the AI could detect that breakdown, trigger a command, and turn off that machine. Another example would be Amazon. Amazon uses robots to first identify which shelves are low and then to use the robot to pack the shelf in quick time. The interactive AI is also used to automate communication without compromising interactivity. To envisage this type of AI, think about chatbots and smart personal assistants like your Alexas and your Siris, whose abilities can vary from answering pre-built questions or understanding the context of a conversation. This could be used to improve a company's internal processes and facilitate processes such as reservations, vacation booking, dealing with customer queries, especially high-frequency requests. We have the text AI, and we spoke about it yesterday when we spoke about minutes being done within minutes being done within minutes, as opposed to humans taking 2 days, 3 days to actually write up a minute. So we have text AI here, which allows for text recognition, speech-to-text conversion, machine translation, and content generation. Even if you're not a giant company like Google or Amazon, which uses AI as a service, you can utilize this type of AI to generate internal corporate knowledge bases where you can actually have information stored. So when you have new recruits, they could read or engage this AI to learn about the company faster. And our last type of AI would be the visual AI. Most of us would be familiar with this type. Businesses can identify, recognize, classify, and sort objects or convert images and videos into insights. A practical example would be an insurance company. An insurance company could use this AI to basically cost or estimate the damage on a vehicle based on a photo. Even in the farm, it's not exempt. You could also use AI to grade or classify apples based on a color. You could have automated inspections, which would allow a manufacturer to immediately control the quality of their products. Retailers can use it to enhance and personalize customer service. And this type of AI covers computer vision, augmented reality fields, and face recognition. Now that we've discussed the types of AI, permit me to share some practical international examples of AI. We have predictive policing. Predictive policing uses data and algorithms to forecast criminal activity with the goal of efficiently allocating law enforcement resources. The data used to make decisions is derived by compiling and analyzing historical criminal data and police activity. Research suggests that jurisdictions that employ this tool significantly benefit from enhanced public safety. public health financing or monitoring. We see the use of artificial intelligence in terms of enabling public health surveillance from local detection to global epidemic monitoring and control. AI techniques are widely used to detect infectious disease outbreaks, predict trends, and conduct public health response modeling and assessments. We see that after COVID, there was a call by the research community to employ AI not just in terms of detecting an outbreak, but to have AI-driven solutions to deal with that outbreak when it occurs. We have the automated customer service, and this service improves productivity without sacrificing the customer's experience. This is mainly used in first world countries, and it could be applied in many forms. So you could use chatbots to conduct a routine task, maybe check on the status of an order, schedule your appointments. You could use email and social media autoresponders who can automatically acknowledge customer inquiries and provide initial information or help. You also have what we call automated triaging, where the AI could basically categorize the type of request and assign the suitable agent to deal with that request. So this allows fast handling. We have automated surveys or feedback requests. Most of us will be familiar with this type. You have your survey monkeys, various types. Also, we have proactive support. The AI could basically loop your clients and send out notifications for known issues such as shipping delays, system outages, and changes in logistics. Smart city management is an initiative where technology is leveraged to improve various aspects of urban life, including transportation, energy management, public services, and environmental sustainability. So AI uses algorithms to harness or to unlock new efficiencies, reduce resource consumption, and enhance service delivery across diverse domains. I'm not going to actually discuss all of them because in the interest of time. So we're going to go to disaster response and management, which is mainly used in the USA. We know that today we face a convergence of complex challenges from climate change to climate change. So it is very important to have advanced methods of emergency response. AI is capable of reshaping the landscape of emergency management and to strengthen our ability to prepare and respond to crisis with unprecedented speed and accuracy. So with AI, it is possible to detect early warning signs, forecast weather, disaster response recovery efforts, post-disaster rebuilding, and basic medical and psychological consultations. AI could also be used in policy analysis and decision making at each stage of the policy cycle, from agenda setting to policy formulation, decision making, implementation, and evaluation. In the transportation and traffic management sector, we could also use AI to do predictive maintenance, have driver behavior analytics done, flight delay predictions, real-time vehicle tracking, intelligent driver care, and we see that Tesla has used AI for self-driving capabilities, BMW has used it for personal assistance, and Audi uses it to detect cracks in the production stage. So let us zoom in now on the Caribbean examples, excluding St. Lucia, which will be dealt in a later slide. So AI has been used in the Caribbean and in different projects across the Caribbean. So we have the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology. They actually use AI to analyze weather patterns and historical data to improve hurricane forecasting and early systems. In Trinidad and Tobago, they use AI as well in the health project to analyze medical imaging, and to assist in diagnosing conditions and enhance delivery. Farmers are definitely not exempt. Farmers can also benefit from this technology by monitoring soil health and predict crop yields, thereby improving productivity and sustainability. In Port of Spain, they're actually using the AI for traffic management and public safety, optimizing city services and improving citizen engagement. The First Citizen Bank actually uses AI as well to detect for fraud detection and risk management in transaction, enhancing security for customers. And finally, AI is also used for our SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, to analyze environmental data, to track progress towards sustainable goals, and also support conservation efforts.
So, yes, that was a lot concerning AI so far as it relates to what AI is, the types of AI, the areas AI can be used. And I know farmers sometimes say they left out of many things, but farmers too can use AI. I said about crop yields and soil health. So there's a lot. But let's now delve a little into the research findings of AI. So what the literature says concerning AI, and not just AI on the whole, but delve into AI in the workplace. So because here we too need to use AI to use it to benefit us in our work. So here, as it relates to the research findings, what the literature says about AI, specifically in the workplace, the benefits of it. One of the main benefits that comes up in many papers is the increased efficiency and productivity when AI is used in that workplace. Because there are many papers would have stated that benefit, because they would conduct surveys where before AI was used, how was that business performing, and after AI has been implemented, how is that business now performing? Did they improve? Did they not improve? They stay the same on the same level? And a lot of papers would find that there is increased efficiency and productivity, particularly as it relates to repetitive and time-consuming tasks, such as data entry, scheduling, routine customer inquiries, those areas, those things that's really time-consuming, and you have to do it all the time. Those are some of the things that businesses would employ AI to do, and it would be done in quick time. Maybe it would take somebody, a human being, an entire day to do a particular task, but with AI, in a few minutes. That's one of the benefits so far in the workplaces. Another benefit is enhanced decision making, where the AI system is used to analyze vast amount of data. And because if you as a human being have to take some time to analyze all that data, usually it would, again, a day or two, but AI will do that for you in a few minutes, analyze the vast amount of data in a few minutes, and do it accurately as compared to when a human is involved and there's a chance of human error. There's also improved customer experience, where now that you're using the AI, not using the AI, customers can get answers to the queries in a short space of time, as compared to the human being maybe have to go and find out. The AI would just, in a few minutes, the AI already have your answer for you. Another benefit is cost reduction, and that one is, some persons say yes, some persons say no. Some of the people say yes, some of the people say no. Because when AI can be expensive, the AI that you decide to implement in your workplace, it can be expensive. So in the short term, there's no cost reduction, but the cost has increased. But in the long run, when AI is now used to do tasks that you would usually take a day or two, now that AI is being used and it's done in a few seconds, your customers are happier because they get their answers quickly. Your employees don't have to sit down and maybe input data for hours, getting bored. in those instances, there's cost reduction. But let's not get wrong though. In all those instances where AI is now used as compared to the employees, it's not that the employees would no longer be of use to the organization. As we go along, we'll see how those employees can be reskilled or retooled. So AI is replacing them. These are the benefits. These are some of the benefits where AI is used to do some of the tasks that some humans would do, but no, not that the humans would lose their jobs. There's also reskill and retooling, but we'll talk about that in the later slide. Other benefits of AI is enhanced accuracy and reduced errors, and I alluded to that earlier, where that the human element is enhanced in that, so there's less of a chance of human error. For example, in data input, scheduling, or any of those tasks. Another one is continuous operation. Now, again, in different workplaces where customers may need answers 24/7, any time of day or night, they have a question, they need an answer to concerning a particular product. With a human being, the human being may not be able to go to 24 hours, 7 days a week for you at all. Although there can be rotations, but with AI, any time of day, any time of night, AI can be there to answer the question for you. So AI brings to the organization continuous operation in that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the AI is there to maybe answer the phone, or maybe, like we spoke about earlier, the text AI. That platform can be used where you type in your question. In a few seconds, you have your response to your question. Next, we have, let me just shift this. So after the benefits, there's also concerns. Next slide, please. There's also concerns. And I saw some heads nodding and some smiles and some concerns on faces when I was speaking of the benefits of AI. So yes, there are concerns with AI. And one of the main concerns, that's why I mentioned earlier, one of the main concerns is job displacement and unemployment. Many persons job displacement versus job creation. So one of the first things you would hear when you start an AI talk is that AI is coming to take over this particular job, or I will now be obsolete because AI took my job. Even as economists, I thought to myself, hey, will the time come when they don't need me anymore? And AI now doing all the analysis, and AI is faster, like the benefits I mentioned earlier. AI will be faster than myself. AI will be more accurate than myself. So even myself, I thought of it for a few seconds, and I realized, oh no, that's almost, no, not impossible, but it's not really the case, because AI can be used to enhance your work, or AI should be used to enhance your work, but not to replace you. For us as economists, we do maybe forecasting. AI used to enhance the forecasting, but not to replace us, and we're no longer needed. Because say AI says 100% growth next year in St. Lucia. That's almost impossible. How are we getting 100% growth? So AI should just help you in your work, but not that it replaces you, because there can be errors in AI as well, because AI uses historical data, say there's an error in the historical data that we spoke about earlier. Say the human error part of it, instead of 100, the 10%, the human put 100% in one of the years of the historical data. AI would not realize that's an error here, but a human would see that and realize immediately, hey, St. Lucia had 100% growth last year. That's totally wrong. So then AI would then not realize that's an error and use that data to predict growth for future years. And just that one small element or that one small error would throw off the predictions of AI. So have no fear. AI does not really replace all of us, but it can be used to enhance us. Now, I also want to speak about job creation. So there are some jobs that will no longer exist because of AI, because AI is already doing it faster. But that's where organizations, remember we're talking about AI in the workplace, that's where workplaces should employ reskilling and retooling of their staff. So the secretary would no longer has to do minutes like we spoke about earlier. Secretary can be doing something else, some creative work, something else, or be trained into AI management. So now the secretary can use AI for even more.
By analyzing historical data and allowing tax authorities to focus the audits on high-risk taxpayers. For instance, we have systems that employ anomaly detection and highly irregularities in tax filings. We have optimizing tax policies. Oftentimes, the Research and Policy Unit is tasked with formulating tax policies. With the use of AI, both RPU and IRD can stimulate the impact of proposed tax policies using large data sets, helping policymakers understand the potential outcomes before the implementations of these policies. We will need this in the next coming months. For instance, AI models can analyze economic indicators to predict how changes in tax rates might affect revenue. We have AI in tourism. This is for our tourism persons, SLHTA, and some of the large hotels. We have personalized recommendations. The SLHTA, along with hotels and other relevant authorities, could use AI to analyze travel preferences and behaviors to suggest personalized itineraries, activities, and accommodations. For example, we have platforms like TripAdvisor and Booking.com. Even the Airbnbs, they use AI to recommend attractions based on user reviews and past behaviors. We have sentiment analysis, where the tourism authority, along with the hotels, could utilize social media and review data to gauge public sentiments about destinations, also helping the tourist board tailor marketing strategies. For example, we have Oyo rooms in India. They use sentiment analysis to improve service offerings based on customer feedback. We have predictive analytics for demand forecasting. The hotels here, along with the necessary authorities, you could analyze the historical data to predict tourist inflow, enabling better resource allocation. For instance, we have hotels in Hawaii who use predictive analytics to optimize pricing and manage staffing based on expected demand. We have AI in education. And we see here we have personalized learning. We have parents and teachers could use AI-driven adaptive learning platforms that can tailor educational contents to individual student needs. For example, we have tools like Dreambox Learning, we have IXL, and they provide personal math tutoring that adjusts to each learner's pace, so no child is left behind. We have teacher support and administrative efficiency. We could use AI tools to assist the teachers with administrative tasks, such as grading and attendance tracking, allowing them to focus more on instructions to their students. Platforms like Google Classroom incorporate AIs to streamline these processes. We have data-driven insights for policy and improvement. AI analytics can help education authorities in St. Lucia track students' performance with the use of data to inform policy decisions and resource allocation, ultimately improving educational outcome. And I know that education is a sector that has a vast amount of data, and that the volume of data from the educational digest combined with the use of AI will render tremendous assistance in that regard. We have AI in health and wellness. The AI could bring significant benefit to the health and wellness sector in St. Lucia through the use of different applications. The use of AI can reduce high levels of inefficiencies at our medical institutions. We have telemedicine and virtual health assistance. This is where the health and wellness sector can use this AI-powered platform to facilitate remote consultations that would allow healthcare providers to reach patients in rural areas. For example, we have the Babylonia Health Facility in the UK. They use AI to triage their patient's symptoms and offer medical advice via a mobile app. If this AI is employed here in St. Lucia, this should reduce the amount of time that persons spend at our medical facilities. A whole day wait at OKU could be reduced by a few hours. Predictive analytics for patient outcomes. We have the various health authorities, like the nutritionists and the doctors, could utilize this algorithm to analyze patients' data to predict health risk and outcome and help clinicians make informed decisions. And a use case would be where Mount Sinai Health System in the US, they have employed this AI to predict patient readmission and improve care management. We have medical imaging analysis. This AI, with the employment of AI in this regard, this could assist the radiologists at the various health facilities in St. Lucia in diagnosing conditions by analyzing medical images. For instance, we have Google DeepMind, and they have developed an AI that can detect eye disease from retinal scans with high accuracy. We have personalized treatment plans. It will no longer be a one-size-fits-all. The AI can help medical authorities in St. Lucia create customized treatment plans for their patients based on genetic information and your medical history. Currently, the medical facilities like the MD Anderson Cancer Center in the US employs AI to tailor cancer treatments based on individual patient data. And finally, we have AI in crime prevention and security. Given our current crime situation, our murder rate is already above 60, AI could significantly enhance crime prevention and security measures in St. Lucia through various applications, which include predictive policing, as my colleague would have mentioned earlier. We have surveillance system and community safety initiatives. For predictive policing, the RSLPF can utilize AI algorithms to analyze crime data to identify patterns and predict potential hotspots for criminal activity. This allows the management team of the RSLPF to allocate their resources more effectively. Surveillance systems. The AI-enhanced surveillance systems can process video feeds in real time to help the police identify suspicious behavior of individuals, thus improving public safety. We have crime analytics. AI can assist in analyzing large volumes of data, which will help the police identify trends, assess risk, and develop strategies tailored to specific communities. We have emergency response. AI can optimize emergency response systems, by predicting demand for services and improving the efficiency of these resources. For example, the AI system can analyze data from previous reported emergencies to improve response time and resource allocation during this crisis, such as natural disasters and public disturbances. In conclusion, it must be noted that for AI to increase efficiency and foster high productivity levels, data is needed. Therefore, let us be those who develop the habit of data collection.
Our presentation so far has provided just a snapshot of the revolutionary capabilities of artificial intelligence and how it can impact the various aspects of life, be it business, governance, or even leisure. We have also browsed through various pertinent concerns and difficulties which accompany the presence of artificial intelligence within economies and societies around the world. Now, much like any other technological phenomena, these concerns are real and they are at the forefront of the minds of individuals around the globe. With all its fascinating proclamations, we turn to AI itself, in the form of ChatGPT, of course, to find out just how we should go about adopting artificial intelligence in key sectors of our society. And what did we find? Well, to echo some of the research conducted by the World Bank on AI in the public sector in 2021, and an AI adoption study by PricewaterhouseCoopers in 2023, ChatGPT eloquently summarized an efficient AI adoption process as follows. 1, define the problem. This includes identifying relevant data requirements and evaluating the available data. Also identifying relevant financial, education, legal, and digital resource requirements. Additionally, you have to clearly define some form of success criteria with measurable goals and collaboration. This one was emphasized significantly in the research findings. Now, collaboration must be done. It must involve, all stakeholders from step 1 of this process. And that is in order to avoid any gaps in the process. 2, mass sensitization. This entails development of a training program focused on digital and analytic understanding and awareness of the pros and cons of using AI tools. In this step, all stakeholders need to be upskilled, including the executive, in our case, the politicians as well. Also, incentives can be offered along with large-scale promotion of cultural changes which will be required for effective adoption. 3, draft a proposal to include the problem, the possible solutions or mitigation actions, and the proposal must ensure alignment with legal, policy, and ethical frameworks and include mechanisms mandating safe and trustworthy use of AI platforms. 4, we have to develop a prototype or pilot. This will allow for anticipation of impact of AI on efficiency, as operational employees will have fewer tasks as mentioned previously. We ought to ensure understanding of background technology for AI tools, and ethical and user policies must be developed in this stage. 5, monitoring and evaluation. This is to be done at every stage throughout the process. An internal audit team must be established to monitor abusive, illegal, or inappropriate usage, as well as new technologies or algorithms that can enhance the AI tool further. 6, develop and establish the AI platform. The platform should combine data management, automation tools, and AI applications and keep people at the loop. The platform could be an enterprise-level portal where data can be stored and exchanged and applications uploaded and downloaded. The platform should be accessible to all employees and be receptive to employee-led innovations. This point is actually stressed in all of the research papers because we do not want AI taking over human interaction or human importance. So essentially, the powers that be would need to ensure that transformation of these powerful technologies are utilized responsibly. So, while we are currently nowhere near the crawling phase for AI adoption in St. Lucia, the world is moving quickly ahead. But hypothetically speaking, say for instance St. Lucia was to go ahead and bite that bullet and get on the moving train of AI adoption today. Today meaning we've carefully managed the various broader societal impacts that my colleagues have already spoken about. What would that look like for St. Lucia? Well, guided by the research, for the short run, we can anticipate nationwide education, widespread education across all sectors, public and private, feasibility studies, and heavy investment spending in AI algorithms, technologies, and infrastructure. For the long run, though, roughly say about 10 years, we're looking at benefits are expected to materialize at that point. Based on the research, AI-enhanced agriculture is more inclusive for today's youth. With their inclusion in the sector, St. Lucia becomes more poised towards a path of sustainable food security. As AI reshapes as opposed to replacing the current education system, St. Lucia will be able to offer better quality education with greater access for all. Effective implementation of AI is expected to provide tools that enhance law enforcement, forensic investigations, legal proceedings, and cybersecurity. It allows for more efficient policing, better resource allocation, and faster analysis of large data sets. As AI continues to evolve, its integration into the healthcare system has the potential to significantly improve patient outcomes while reshaping how care is delivered in St. Lucia. Based on the findings, a healthier society results in greater individual participation and a more productive labor force. AI tools also allow for cutting-edge advancements throughout the expanse of the finance sector, both for the facilitators and the consumers in St. Lucia. When there is a greater level of trust among players within the financial system, safe access to affordable finance provides a platform for increased business investment. Consequently, the researchers found that various industries, such as manufacturing, gain opportunities for more innovative practices and spill-off outcomes to vital intermediary sectors like transportation, all of which contribute to island-wide reach of the tourism dollar and ultimately grow the St. Lucian economy, which is our primary focus here at the Research and Policy Unit. Thank you.
Thank you, research economists, for this impactful and powerful presentation. Let us give them a round of applause. I could tell that a lot of sweat went into this, and we are thankful for your attempt at this very intense research. At the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, we are currently in the process of winding down many of our legislative reform projects, and of course we have tried to incorporate the technology as much as possible. And so our last project, it was an online registry, I think the first ever online registry for St. Lucia. So it goes to show that, you know, we're heading in the direction of incorporating technology and various contemporary tools in our development. We are also in the process of putting together our national competitiveness agenda, and it will not be a shelf document. It has an accompanying action plan. And so as I listen to the researchers here, I'm getting so many ideas as to how we can improve national productivity and build country competitiveness across the sectors in St. Lucia, and ensuring that we touch on the various competitiveness pillars set by the World Economic Forum. I would like to reiterate that this is just the initial discussion in terms of creating the conducive environment for regulating AI within our small economy. Of course, at the NCPC, we have done a lot of work to introduce new tools, new techniques in St. Lucia, and of course our collateral registry, of course our proposed insolvency office, of course our proposed commercial court, and the e-litigation platform, right? And so hopefully that this discussion leads to the formulation of a policy document which will then translate to creating the relevant legislation and regulations to govern the use of AI within our sectors, within our workplaces. And also I'm hoping that this presentation is also enlightening you as to how you can utilize AI within your respective organizations to increase your organizational productivity, and we encourage that. And so I invite the audience to come up to the mic and to provide feedback and to contribute to the presentation here and to also ask questions. So the floor is open to the audience.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I think some persons here know me, and I know them. I used to be the head of the Research and Policy Department, so I know some of the staff. Jillian, Zafina. Kimbert and the others came in after I retired in 2017. But I know Shama. Yeah. Well. Yes. So. Yes. So one of the things I did while I was at the department is to set up the research agenda as part of our work program, and I insisted that every economist in the department has to contribute to the research effort, and they require, as part of the job description, as part of the output, they have to write a paper or collaborate with somebody. It doesn't have to be in the department, can be outside of the department, to collaborate, or they want to work on their own. It's up to them. And as economists, the only way that you grow, in my view, as an economist, is to undertake research. And to be able to present your research findings. So this is something I was very happy to do, and I'm extremely happy that it continues up to this day, even if I've left the department 7 years ago, that it has taken a new form in terms of NCPC coordinating and presenting it. I know that was impacted by COVID. There was a hiatus during the COVID. Even while I was working with CATAC in Barbados, I did a virtual presentation, and I made some contribution to the discussion. So I was happy to support it, and I'm happy that myself and Mrs. De Souza was invited. I'm now with the FSRA, Financial Services Regulatory Authority, so as a research and policy officer. So I am still in some shape or form associated with research work. Yes. Yes. So I'm very happy that these presentations are being made, and I look forward to the outcome. But there are a few things I would like to say. And I was very happy during Shama. Is Shama that name? Shama. Yes. Did talk about that the NCPC will be looking at with the government to ensure that the legislation and regulations are put in place to govern the use of AI in St. Lucia. Because I wanted to speak about that in general terms. And for me as an economist, the key driver, I think, for AI, not just in Lucia but worldwide, is the enhancement of decision making, solving complex problems, and increase efficiency and productivity. And I stress on that last point there. And I think NCPC really, the modus operandi or the objective of NCPC is to increase productivity and efficiency in the country, starting with the government. government and extending it to the private sector. So I think the use of AI as a tool is critical in achieving that objective. Even me myself, I've been using it in doing my work, and I think there's a general attitude that people have. I don't know if it's maybe lack of knowledge about the use of AI, that they feel that it's you're less of a person if you depend on AI, or for example chat GPT in getting information, or if you're doing, let's say, a research project, to rely on those tools to get the information. Some people have this attitude, which I don't think is a correct attitude, but I'm hoping that attitude will change. But for me as an economist, it's the greatest thing that I've ever done, because just look at it from the efficiency point of view. You having to do a research project, and particularly in a topic that you're not very familiar with. Obviously, you have to get the information from cyberspace. You have to use the internet to make use of it. And what, as you know, Chat GPT does, it puts together all the information. Once you ask the right question and you give it the right information, almost half of your work is done already. So in terms of efficiency gains, that's a huge step in the right direction. I mean, obviously, you have to tailor it for whatever specific purpose you plan for that particular research project, right? So that's where your input will have to come in. But in terms of starting and setting up the template and, getting a lot of the work done from the beginning, the system does it for you. And that is a great achievement in terms of efficiency. Now, I want to come back on what I started about earlier with respect to St. Lucia, the government of St. Lucia, and the public service in particular in St. Lucia, and the use of AI, how some of the features of AI can be used, can be applied in the operations of the public service. Somebody gave a very good example, I can't remember which one of the panelists, of, for example, minutes, taking minutes, and how you can record the minutes and put it into ChatGPT, and it can summarize the minutes for you in a matter of seconds, instead of having to sit down and write down, what this one said, what this one didn't say, and all of that. I spent 24 years altogether in the Ministry of Finance, so I know about those things, about minutes, and sometimes the secretary having to prepare for the next meeting, management meeting, have to be rushing to ensure that minutes are done for the previous meeting, and sometimes it comes with a lot of errors, and we have to go through errors and omissions, and it takes a lot of time going through word by word and making corrections. So all of that can be, and that's a very good example of how you can increase efficiency in having meetings and taking minutes. There are many thousands of examples, but that's a very good example. Now, as we indicated, so come back to my original point. I'm hoping that this presentation here this morning can be used as a platform for leapfrogging the entire operation of the public service into the use of AI. And I think NCPC has a critical role to play in not just initiating it, which we are doing right now, but to sustain it over time and to ensure that it's implemented. So there's a lot of coordination which has to be done. You have to set up the right policies, as Shema talked about the legislation and the regulation. That's very critical, and how it's being used in a very ethical way. All right, so all of those rules and guidelines and procedures and policies have to be laid out, so that persons are very clear. And there are so many examples that was given during the presentation in terms of public health and traffic management, disaster management, the legal and the court system, case management, litigation, all of those things. There's so many different areas in the public service where you can use AI to improve on the output and how it's done in a very professional way. And there's huge efficiency gains that can be made as a result of those the use of this tool. So coming back now to research and policy. So I think I don't remember this guy, the one thing, but he was talking about economic modeling and forecasting. Right, yes. So that's one of the things that you as research economists would have to do in terms of your forecast for the economy. So as a former head of the department, I jot down some notes here, and one of the notes that I have here is that one of the key advantages of AI in economic forecasting and modeling is its ability to handle non-linear relationships. For example, interactions between variables. And non-linear relationships, for example, can about either quadratic or exponential variables as opposed to linear. Because the world of today is very complex. It's not a very linear world. Relationship between economic variables are not always very linear. And it's a lot more complex than we think. And how AI now can be incorporated with the use of econometric models such as EVUs and state data is like a game changer, right? Where you can actually use AI in addition to the models, the established models like EVUs and state data, etc., to enhance their forecasting ability in a non-linear fashion. All right, and that is great news for economists. And places like the IMF, the World Bank, and even CDBI did a stint there. They are now incorporating the use of AI in forecasting models. So that's a very big plus. What are the things I had here? Yeah, so I'm really hoping that this initiative that has been taken, this presentation, can be a starting point for we want to get some positive output, positive results with respect to the public service. Because from my experience, I said I've been in the public service for 24 years. I know about public service. And there's a lot of inefficiencies in the way people do things. Up to this day, 2024, if all of this AI that we're talking about here, people still do things very traditionally. And there's a lot of inefficiency, lots of wastage and all of that. Not just in terms of material, but in time as well. So we need to, NCPC, for the various initiatives, needs to introduce AI in a very coordinated way in all its government functions, all its government departments. I listed them there a while ago, right? And to ensure that all of those different applications that we spoke about for AI can be introduced in a very smooth way in the operations of the public service. I don't know how many public officers today in St. Lucia have access to Chat GPT on their desk. Well, there's a free and there's a professional group. But if you're going to be doing any serious work, you need to have the professional version so that it can allow you to get information on a regular basis and be able to do your work. So, and I know the NCPC, they measure performance, right? You guys measure performance.
Yes, we do.
All right? Mm-hmm. And productivity as well.
Right.
So this is something which perhaps we need to know what the state of awareness is right now, what it is now, how many public servants in St. Lucia, if you're doing research, or it doesn't necessarily have to be research, but operational work as well, how many people have access to Chat GPT or any other AI tool to allow them to do their work in a more efficient way. So we can start with that. And then we need to take the initiative to get government put in the budget so that persons can have access to those tools and be able to do their work in a more efficient way. I know there are cost implications, and government typically always try to reduce costs. I mean, that's expected, yeah. But if there are huge productivity gains that can be made, that can outweigh whatever additional expenditure that the government is going to undertake. I think it's a no-brainer, right? As somebody said, one of the panelists said, the long-term benefits are just humongous, right? So I think we should look at it in that vein and not in the narrow viewpoint of additional expenditure. Yes, there's initial additional expenditure, but if you're going to get huge benefits over time, it's a no-brainer, really. Okay, so I'm really hoping that NCPC can take that initiative and to ensure that that is done in the public service. Because, I mean, there's so many areas. I mean, I can't even start to you, but all of it was mentioned there in terms of agriculture, health, blah, blah, blah. You all know what it is, right? So many areas that can benefit from this tool. Mm-hmm. That you should not spare a moment in ensuring that people have access to those tools and be able to do their work in a more efficient way. So that's what I want to say for now. I know my colleague has some questions or comments. But thank you. Yes. Yeah.
We were agreeing with you basically to say when you
That is why we are agreeing with you, Mr. Segis, when you said that it is needed in the public service. That is why in our research, we did not only look at what is being done, but we went and we looked at the deficiencies in St. Lucia, in each of the sectors, and to say where AI can work. And I think Petriana Petriana's presentation was on that. So looking at various sectors, looking at the deficiency, for example, I see people from IRD there saying that, and of course we all know about our tax refunds, so how this can improve in terms of just the service delivery overall. And I think she mentioned predictive policing, and we know about crime in St. Lucia. Need to do it carefully, and that is what the research has shown, that yes, countries are implementing AI, but they're not doing it right, so they're not getting the results from it. This is what Myra was saying. Let's adopt it, but do it in a right, logical, now that we are at this point is to take it to the next level, which you are recommending basically. We need to have the right legislation, because data security
definitely AI would come into the conversation and into the projects and the policy that we're proposing to the government. Come up with solutions so that you address all the setbacks and all the problems that is preventing us from going to the next level. So I'm thankful for that. And I think the presentation by Myra, in which she really she delineated a roadmap on how we go about doing this. I think that was very useful, and I was just thinking that we need to go back to them to get the entire presentation so that we continue to create the groundwork for the introduction of AI into our national competitiveness agenda, into our innovation policy, so that we can really get the work starting and not just have a presentation and that's it. So I was thankful for that. I think the research done here, it really gives us guidelines on how we can go about doing this.
Just one thing on the challenges. We did not want to leave it out of the presentation. Reason being is that a lot of persons do have concerns about anything new. When electricity was coming, we were using kerosene. There was a concern. So because we do have the expert in the room, we don't want to leave him out of the conversation. We wanted to bring up the challenges so that he could speak on it, or let people change their minds, basically. So I don't know if at that point I could let him come up to just speak about, to respond to the challenges in terms of, for anybody here who have fears of AI, and we too, of course, we do have fears of AI, and this is where he comes in, Mr. Jim Joseph.
So after, we will take a comment from Ms. D'Souza. Okay, so please come up to the mic.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
I would like to also echo the sentiments of Ms. Sharma that this was indeed a very powerful presentation. So bravo. So during your presentation, you spoke about data privacy and security. So this is really a concern for me as a financial regulator, and I suppose you would guess that. So my question is how data is kept confidential when we all put our data into those beautiful tools such as ChatGPT. So therefore, I use chat to ask that very same question. So it responded, thankfully, by saying, the information is kept by a company called OpenAI, and also indicated that its objective is to keep indeed the information very confidential and share that information with only affiliates, and will use that information to improve its tool. So definitely it gives us some concern. It is really doing that. So it went further and said, hey, look, we also respect data protection laws, such as those in the UK, like GDPR and other data protection laws. So I was saying that St. Lucia also has passed a Data Protection Act. So if in case one day we find ourselves at a table, I think not maybe just at St. Lucia, but as the region, the Caribbean region, we may need to have that discussion with all those tools to make sure that also that our laws are integrated in the data privacy laws. And the reason why I'm saying that is because data is power, and we must continue to maintain our competitive edge in what we do well. And we must ensure that whatever we produce in this beautiful island and within the region, that information that is shared on all those tools, that we can protect it as much as we can, even though we sometimes may lose sometimes and feel that we lose control. So just wanted to say that in all what we do, chat is also my best friend these days, but at the same time, I have that concern, and I'm hoping that the experts will respond to that. How do we keep data private? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Is it still morning or afternoon? Okay, good.
Good morning.
I must commend your team. Your opening remarks were, we are economists and we are not AI experts, but watching your presentation, in fact, even listening to you all yesterday, rehearsing, looking at the level of professionalism, the way you presented, I mean, we must applaud them again. Job well done. I think you covered almost every single area, and you tried to look at it with a critical mind, a critical eyes, very methodical, not just looking at it from a technological perspective, but looking at it from the perspective of end users and persons who are responsible for formulating policy, providing guidance in terms of the roadmaps, in terms of the way forward, and ensuring that you gave us a snapshot of where we are and where we need to be. So I must applaud you. To answer your question in relation to data, and it's something that I brought out last night in my presentation, that the whole subject of data has changed. Whereas before we would think that data is something that's in our legacy systems, databases, and spreadsheets. But like I was showing last night, even with things like Tesla's full self-driving systems that uses vision as a data, even looking at generative AI and its capabilities, that it's text to video, that is video to voice, it's voice to text. Data now and data privacy, it is something that we have not really understood and needs to be crafted and framed in a way that we just don't even understand. Even as we understand the use of generative AI and tools like ChatGPT, that is just one form of representation of the data. if you look at that same ChatGPT that you're speaking about, with the new capabilities of it, where you could take out your cell phone and just point it to the air and speak to it and ask it to comment on what it's actually seeing. I mean, if you have to understand the implications of that, what you typing in your ChatGPT pales into insignificance. When you understand how generative AI is being used, and this morning I was just reading something by Jensen. He's one of the leading persons in terms of creation of, I don't even know how to say it, but he's from NVIDIA. Right now, what we're actually doing is training in a simulated environment where you are no longer relying on data. Because if you have to understand how things like ChatGPT works, basically we've scraped every bit of data there is from the internet, from sources. So everything there is, we've actually trained our AI on it, on these models, and we've kind of run out of information. So right now we're actually having the AI create synthetic data. And we're training on that synthetic data. So if you have to understand how these things work, right now with things like NVIDIA NIM, we're training in virtual environments and training it on synthetic data and getting it to train itself so that we can actually use it to create new data to be able to do what we need to do. So when you think about data privacy, there are a lot of things that we need to think about. I mean, if you look in the creative industries, there are a lot of cases right now between creators and the music industry for copyright violations. And it's a very thin line, and we're not sure what direction it's going to take, because we're not actually using your material. We're using it to train. When I say we, I mean the persons who are responsible for creating the technology are using it to train the models. And the argument is that we're using it to train the models, and really we're not using your songs to be able to reproduce your songs. So that whole thing about data privacy, data security, last night I showed how through the use of technology and things like what Elon Musk is doing with his Neuralink, you're able to put a coin-sized implant in your head and fuse it with your neural networks. And last night I showed a video and really startled persons here, where we're able to put a human in an fMRI machine, and just by taking a snapshot of the images of the scans of your brain, we're able to convert that to video. So we can actually read like your dreams and convert the snapshots of the images of your brain and convert that to dreams. Convert your dreams, to video, right? Things like what Elon Musk is now doing. And the next stage, what he's thinking of doing, that same ChatGPT that you're thinking about, the next stage is to actually take that whole data set and to push it straight to your brain, so that you're now thinking at a PhD and above level, that you don't have to read a book, whatever, but you have all that information right there, right? So the thing about data privacy, and I was telling you yesterday, the guys who were here last night, and I was really happy that we took the direction that we took last night, that I did not go and explain some of the things that you explained in your presentation, because it would be almost like repeating what we're saying, but I decided to go in that direction to show some of the things that we thought of that were in dimension of what we said last night. It was, what did we call it? Sci-fi, all right? It's things that are being done now, right now. So I say all of that because it just means that we need to start rethinking about those things that we had that were based on legacy systems. So our legislation, the things that we defined before. Right now we have to redefine it because it's taken on a different form. So going right now and saying, well, in terms of our data protection and privacy laws, these are some of the discussions that we need to have to think about what's coming next and to ensure that we put the legislation and to draft our frameworks and policies to be able to cater for what's coming, because what we have coming there, the average person does not understand. And for most persons, their idea of AI is ChatGPT. Ask the majority of persons if they've used AI, they tell you ChatGPT. All right? And that's the extent of most persons' knowledge of what the technology can do. It's about chatbots and things of that nature. But to understand the broader implications of what's there and what's coming, as we said, the fusion of man and machine, the way of dealing and interacting through holograms and all those things. I mean, these are things that we need to start thinking in terms of where we're going. So I'm really, again, I applaud all of you. But it's a discussion I think we're having now, and I'm really happy to see that the public service is there together with the private sector. I think it has to be a joint approach, and again I applaud your team for this effort.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. Are there any other questions? We need to keep it brief because we have another activity shortly. I guess if you have any questions, these are all your colleagues. I think you all communicate all the time, so any further questions can be directed to them via email. Are there any closing remarks?
Yes, so Gigi's going to give us
Okay, great. Okay.
Powered by AI.
AI has become a trend that cannot be disregarded.
AI is current and futuristic.
Thank you to all who participated in this event. Remember our theme, the AI effect, using innovation to reshape productivity and enhance competitiveness.
Predicting the future isn't magic. It's artificial intelligence.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your attendance and your attention, and we look forward to continue working on this so that we can really create the regulatory and legislative environment to govern the use of AI in our small St. Lucian society. So I thank you so much, and I thank the Research and Policy Unit team for this very insightful presentation and for your hard work. Thank you. Okay, so we have refreshments, so we invite you to